close the canopy up, Shaun, so bob your head forward. When the canopy closes, just put it back up and relax, okay, mate? Have a good one.
Okay, so I'm going to work my way from my left to my right. So if you look down at your left hip, there's a big black metal star wheel.
Yeah.
That's what we call the rudder trim. So I'm going to set that all the way forward to the right because the Merlin engine pulls hard to the left on takeoff. Yeah, enough. Yeah. The big wheel in front of it, that's the pitch trim. That helps me keep the nose in the correct position in relation to the horizon, as we talked about. Big lever there is the throttle.
Yeah.
If we keep your hands away from that throughout, that's grand. The prop lever in front of that is disconnected in the back. There's one or two things that don't work in the back, but I'll come to that in a second. The two ignition switches are off at the moment. We've got the main fuel tap is on, that's the one by your right knee, and we've got the wing tap on as well. I'm going to set the altimeter to 450 feet, which is our height above sea level. Radios are off. Engine gauges are looking good, so all I need to get it started is I need to get a little brass pump down here which squirts fuel into the inlet side of the cylinders, so it gives the engine something to play with on start before the engine pump starts up, and then allows it to run. So just going to close the door, got the brakes on. Right, get it started. I press the starter and the boost coil and we should get some noise. Let's give it a go. Give it a few blades to pull that fuel through, turn the ignition on, and there we go. First thing we check, we've got oil pressure, which we have. That's looking good. And then we're going to check the ignitions, we'll put them both on, so each one will keep the engine going on its own. So we've got a bit of duplication, we'll turn each one off in turn, and the engine should continue to run, which it does. We're not in any great hurry today, because as I said, we've got a cool aircraft, and it takes a while to get going. Okay, got the radios on.
Golf Delta Victor downwind 03 hard, touch and go. Golf Delta Victor, roger.
So good morning, it's Golf Lima Fox India X-ray, Spitfire 2 on board, local east, 25 minutes please.
Golf Lima Fox India X-ray, roger. Star radio 03 left hand for fixed wing, QNH 1022.
Okay, 102203 left hand, what's the surface wind, anything at all?
180 degrees, less than 5.
Okay, well, take a look at our pump. I'll take 03 for departure. Might need 2-1 on the way back if it gets any stronger.
Roger, just one flexion downwind currently.
Got it. Okay, so we're going to take off to the north then. We normally take off into wind. It's only about 2 or 3 knots, but we'll consider that on the way back. So, as we taxi out then, the first thing everybody says, Shaun, or thinks, is how the hell do you see where you're going? And the fact is, you can't see where you're going because you've got a dirty grey engine in front of you. But that is not abnormal. If you were a pilot trained to fly in the 1930s in a Tiger Moth, or a Stearman, or a Harvard, all the aircraft had the little wheel at the back and the 2 big wheels at the front. So you just had to get used to it, and what I do, is I will be doing as I taxi out, is I shall be doing an S-turn. So each time, putting the aircraft to one side of the taxiway, then the other, and then I can actually see where I'm going, and make sure I don't bump into things. Well, that didn't always work. If you look at all the albums of World War II pictures, there's generally a picture of a Spitfire or something similar buried in the side of another aircraft because the student pilots forgot to look where they were going. Now to steer the aircraft on the ground, you can feel me moving the rudder pedals, but at this point the rudder is not strong enough on its own to steer the aircraft because there's not enough air flowing across it. So what I'm actually using, I've got a brake lever on the control column, and I basically, if I apply the right rudder and press the brake lever, it only applies brake on that side, so the aircraft is being steered by the brakes effectively at the moment. And you can possibly hear the hiss of the air, they're pneumatic brakes, just like a big truck. You can hear hissing as we steer the aircraft in a gentle turn. That's Alpha 1 for checks. So with All piston engines, jet engines are very simple. If they run, basically they're fine. Off you go. But with a piston engine, we need to give it time to warm up. We need all that heat to go through all components of the engine before we start giving it a hard push. So we're going to be parking here just for a little while, just to let the engine warm up. And once the engine is warm, what we will do is we'll do a power check. So we're going to run the engine up to about 50-60% of its full power capability. And when it's running under stress, we'll then check the systems. We'll make sure that both of the ignition systems are working correctly. Make sure the generator's working, make sure the oil pressure is remaining in a good level. Make sure the temperatures and pressures are good. So, with the Spitfire and most aeroplanes which are liquid cooled, the most important gauge on the aircraft is actually the radiator temperature gauge. A bit like a car really. If your car starts to have problems, it's generally going to be showing itself on the temperature gauge. So above your left knee, at the bottom of the main panel, you can see a gauge. It says rad in degrees centigrade. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that is telling us how much energy is being shed by the radiator. So the Spitfire Mark 9 has got two big radiators, one on the left, one on the right. So lots and lots of cooling capacity once the aircraft is in the air. But unfortunately on the ground, there's very little air flowing across them. The propellers in the middle of the airplane, the radiators are outside the propeller arc, and they've also got the undercarriage legs in front of them blocking the airflow. So the engine will start to overheat on the ground if we're there for too long. It wasn't a problem in World War II because most of the airfields, the aircraft would be put at the end of the airfield pointing into wind at the start of the day, then run the engine up to make sure that they were okay. And certainly in the Battle of Britain, all the pilots had to do when the bell rang was run out, put their parachute on, jump in, open the taps and take off, so there was never a problem. It's only a problem for modern Spitfires because we all taxi about all over these airfields. Most airfields have only got a single runway, so we end up having to taxi from long distances to get to the runway. Things are coming along nicely, so if you look at that rad gauge, it's showing at the moment about 70 degrees centigrade. But I need the oil above 30 ideally to do our power checks, and the oil's only showing 25 at the moment. Generally it's a race between the aircraft coolant getting too hot and the oil not being hot enough, which is why in the war they'd have the fitters come out at 3 o'clock in the morning in the dark and they'd run the engines up to make sure all that was checked before the pilots had to get in. So the pilots only had to worry about fighting the enemy and not anybody else. But you can see the temperature's rapidly going. Now we're at 75 degrees on the rad, just shy of 30 on the oil, so we'll give it another couple of minutes. So Andy's saying your dad was a flight engineer in the Air Force. What was he a flight engineer on?
Yeah, Lancasters.
Good Lord. Your dad was?
Yeah.
You were a late child then, I take it?
Yeah, he was 40.
Okay. That's no, I had my kids when I was 41, so I should probably keep my mouth shut, really, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
My goodness me. And he flew ops, did he?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
How many?
28.
Good Lord. Saved by the end of the war, I take it, was he?
Yeah, well, he stayed in the RAF until 1947, I think.
Good grief. Oh, I tip my hat to him. 28 missions, jeez. Jesus. Right. So, we're just coming up to the right temperature on the oil, so we've got 30 on the oil, rad's now at 80. So we can then do our little power check. Now the stick's going to be hard back in your tummy.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do about that, because if I don't do that, the aircraft might tip on its nose. So we're all clear behind. Just going to bring the canopy shut to keep the noise down a bit. Just give it another minute, let's get it to 80. On the rad, we've got 35 on the auto, that's plenty, so we're behind. So who's going to get the first idea how noisy this aeroplane can get? As I said, the noise inside is not quite as noisy as the outside. Good. I'm just going to cycle the propeller a couple of times to get some more oil in the front of the top going. The RPM gauge unfortunately doesn't show the correct things. Now they're going to turn the ignition systems off one at a time. So there's one, drop an RPM as the other one takes over control. Two, beautiful, 60, 70. That's really good. So the oil pressure's good. Radio's coming up. We've got a charging generator. Everything looks good. All the warning lights are out. throttle all the way back. Just check the engine runs at low RPM. It's a bit rattly at the bottom end because there's nothing pushing against the centrifugal, so the planetary gearbox at the front. It's fine. Okay. So the engine's going to give us full power takeoff. I'm going to do another scan around the cockpit, make sure everything's in the correct position for takeoff. That's good. That's good. Mind your knees. I'm just going to check the controls are unrestricted. I'll do my final check, which is a mic which I've learned over the years, which covers everything. So brakes, the air is coming up. Undercarriage is in the down position. Mixture is not fitted on this aeroplane. Mags are on both. The prop is fully forward. The primer is locked. Fuel is on both tanks. The fuel pump is off for this aircraft for takeoff. Instruments are looking good. Great. Throttle friction is tight, so the engine throttle won't come back on the change hands to bring the gear up. Trims are set. Tail wheel lock we don't have. Coolant is fully open. Car flaps we don't have. Carburetor heat. Ram here on the carb intake. Just harness, we're good to go. Are you ready, sir?
Oh yeah.
So I should say, I'll turn the intercom off for takeoff because it's really, really noisy, and when you hear the intercom back on again, that'll be us chatting away, and so we'll come back over here. Right, let's crack on then. Flying director, ready, lining up runway 03 left, it'll be a left-hand turn out, so climbing above the circuit, I need to come back over the field.
Flying director, Roger, service wind 160 degrees left. Back to the deck.
Eject. Right at the beginning of the runway, releasing the runway, looks clear down the end. Here we go. Okay, Shaun. Welcome aboard. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Excellent. Right. We're just a tad under 4,000 feet in our 1944 Spitfire. We're in level flight. We're doing 190 knots. It's about 220 miles an hour. And the aircraft's barely breathing at the moment. We're using cruising power, so we're not really using a lot of power at all. So we're cracking along. Look out at those wingtips. Those are the same wings with the same skins that flew the aircraft at D-Day 1944. This is a genuine Spitfire, it's not a rebuild, a genuine aeroplane. What a gorgeous day, look at that. Okay, right, let's crack on with this little bit of a flying lesson then. So if you want to put your right hand on the bottom of the control column, where it shows you, I'm going to fly the aircraft, so you're just following through. I'm going to demonstrate how we make the aircraft turn, and then it'll be your go, alright? Just doing a little bit of turbulence under these bits of cloud here, so let's do our little turn to the right. Let's go to the right to start off with, so have a good look out at the traffic. So I'm going to move the control column gently to the right, and the aircraft will start to roll.
Yeah.
When it gets about 30 to 40 degrees, which is about there, we put the ailerons back to neutral, and then we apply a little bit of backwards pressure on the control column to stop the aircraft descending. You feel being pushed into your seat by a little bit of G-force. As I go around the turn, I'm going to keep that back pressure on to stop the nose from dropping. I'm going to work away with the left and right movements of the control column to make the angle of bank, or the angle between the wings and the horizon, stay steady. And all the time keeping that gentle back pressure on the control column. When I want to continue to complete the turn, move the control column in the natural direction. The aircraft will roll its wings level, relaxing the back pressure, we don't need that anymore. When the wings are level, ailerons back to neutral, and have a look at your wingtips. You can see the same amount of horizon visible above each wingtip. If I was left wing down, look, if you look at your right wingtip, you can see sky, left wingtip, too much ground. So you make a correction, and then put the ailerons back to neutral. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do another turn, we'll do one to the right now, push the aircraft back away from the airfield, so clear to the right, roll to the right, centralise, back pressure, around we go. All the time the nose tracking around the horizon, it's not raising, not climbing, not descending. You've got a little bit of back pressure on your butt, and we're keeping the angle of bank constant with the ailerons. All the time, this little small movement just to keep the aircraft tracking around at a constant angle of bank, with that back pressure applied all the way through the turn. And when we're going to roll the wings level, we're going to relax the back pressure. We don't need it when the wings are level, so relax the back pressure, roll the wings level. When the wings are level, centralise the ailerons, check your wingtips, and we're back in level flight. So make a note of where the nose is now in relation to the horizon, because that's where we want to return to. Okay?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Keeping your hand on the control column then, Shaun.
Yeah.
You have control.
I have control.
Right. So, just give it the controls a little wiggle left and right, up and down, so you can feel what the airplane does. You can feel how it responds. It's much heavier in roll than it is in pitch. The pitch up and down is very light. In roll, it's a bit harder. So you've got to be a bit more aggressive in roll than you are with pitch. You're starting a right-hand turn. Okay, let's try a right-hand turn. So roll the aircraft first. That's enough. And then a little gentle bit of back pressure. That's probably a bit too much. We're now climbing. So the nose has gone above the horizon. That's it. Let it come down. Let's start again. So roll the wings level. Check your wingtips, make sure we've got the same amount of horizon visible above each wingtip, get the nose in the right position. That's a little bit low at the moment, just bring it up bring its nose up a little bit. That's it, hold it there, that's the picture you want to return to. Let's try a left-hand turn. So roll first, control column to the left, roll. Right, centralise the control column, a little bit of back pressure now. That's better, much better, good. That's really good. That's a lovely level turn, little bit of back pressure, perfect. Round we go. Nice job. That's a proper turn, that is. That's a proper Spitfire turn. Okay, let's roll the wings level now. As you do so, relax the back pressure. Keep rolling. Keep rolling, get those wings level. Look out left and right, left and right. Are the wings level? Not quite. Left wingtip, right wingtip, that's better. Good. Okay, let's do a turn to the right, just like you did then. Turn to the right. So you put the back pressure on a bit too soon. You've got to get the angle of bank first, Then the back pressure. If you look at the nose now, we're climbing well above the horizon. That's it. Let it come down. Let it come down a bit more. Now put your back pressure back on again. A bit more back pressure. Hold it there. That's good. That's good. Keep that going. That's lovely. So what you did there, you pulled back before you got the aircraft in the correct angle of back. Okay, now roll the wings level. As you do so, relax the back pressure. Relax the back pressure. Knees and nose forward. Knees and nose forward. You're still pulling back, so you need to stop pulling back when the aircraft wings level. So lower the nose. Lower the nose. That's it, that's it. Hold it there. Good. Okay. Right, I'm going to stop talking. You're going to do this on your own. Let's give me a left-hand turn. So roll first, left-hand turn, roll first. Get the wings at the angle of back you want. Then the back pressure. Left turn. No, you pull back too soon again. See the nose way up in the air? And we've got 90 degrees of back on. I have control. I have control. Just a little reminder. So put your hand on the control column. I will fly. You're going to follow through. Okay. So we're going to roll first. Centralise. Then apply the back pressure. You're applying the back pressure as you roll. We only want the back pressure when the aircraft is in the angle of back that we want. As we roll the wings level, we relax the back pressure, ease the nose back down again, wings level, centralise, look at your wingtips, we're back at level flight. Okay, you have control, Shaun, you have control. Right, give me a right turn. Roll, bit more roll. Now we're pulling back a little bit too soon so the nose is above the horizon. And we're gently climbing, now the nose is going to come back down again. Hold it there, now back pressure, put it back towards you, there we go, that's a proper Spitfire, sir, good stuff, keep it going, that's good. Okay, now roll out, as you do so, relax the back pressure, ease the nose forward, and when the wings are level, centralise the ailerons, put the nose on the correct position, a little bit nose high, lower the nose, that's it, lower the nose, a bit more, lower the nose. There you go, hold it there. Brilliant! The thing about the aircraft is incredibly sensitive. I have control now, Shaun, I have control. Okay, relax. And that makes it a very good combat aeroplane. It requires so little effort to make it turn. Yeah. Imagine when you're in combat and you've got full power on, you've got mesh split on your tail, you can really turn hard without very, very little effort. And it's a very easy aircraft to fly. You learn quite quickly to fly this aeroplane. Right, so I'm going to stay on the controls. I'm going to show you a little bit of what we call fighter manoeuvres, alright? So we're going to start to rack things up a little bit. As soon as it's too much for you, just say the word and we'll just ease things down. So the first thing we're going to have a look at, Shaun, is a thing called a wing over. And this is a really good manoeuvre for turning the aircraft round to 180 degrees. So swapping direction, going exactly 180 degrees from where we started, but doing so with the minimum of radius of turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend a Messerschmitt suddenly passes down the right-hand wingtip of the aeroplane, and we want to turn the aircraft round and get on his tail. Now if I maintain 200 knots, it's going to need a really tight, hard turn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the nose up. By pulling the nose up, I'm regaining my energy, I'm slowing the aeroplane down, I'm now going to bank the aircraft 90 degrees of bank, still putting back on the stick. Look down at the right wingtip, we're turning in half the length of that field. And all of a sudden we find ourselves going exactly the other way. Just talk to a radius of turn of about half a mile. Let's say a Messerschmitt ground down the left-hand side, we're going to pull the nose up again. By pulling the nose up, I retain my energy, I slow the aeroplane down. I'm going to bank the aircraft round to the left this time. Keeping the G on, keep the pull going, and I can see the jerk, I can see the Messerschmitt at the top of the canopy, look at the wingtip. Round it goes, it racks it round on a sixpence, and we're back down on the Messerschmitt tail, ready to shoot him down. Now that little bit of G-force there, that's about 1.5 G. Bear in mind in combat they've been flying 5, 6 or 7 G in combat, but they were 19 years old, and of course you're pretty indestructible as a 19-year-old. How's your tummy? Breakfast still in place? Yeah. All good? Okay, let's move on to the next combat manoeuvre, which is a barrel roll. Now, a barrel roll is a very useful manoeuvre in combat, because if you're diving down on that same Messerschmitt and you're diving down from great height, you might build up a huge amount of speed, and what you don't want to do is go so fast that you overshoot in front of him and he shoots you down. So the fighter pilots use a thing called a barrel roll or a displacement roll to slow the aircraft down its forward motion against the target, but at the same time keeping that target in sight. So this time we're going to lower the nose, we're going to accelerate to about 230 knots. We'll have the same pull-up, so a bit of G-force. If you want to tense your tummy muscles as you pull up, that will help keep the blood in your head. And this time, instead of stopping the roll at 90 degrees, we're going to roll through 360 degrees. So here we go, building up a bit of speed. So we're now diving down on our Messerschmitt, but we're going too fast. So I'm going to pull up over the top of it. I'm going to start to roll to keep him in sight. So he's underneath us now. I'll roll over the top. He appears at the bottom of the canopy, but we stop moving forward around him. And hopefully we're going to drop down on his backside and shoot him down. Rat-a-tat-a-tat. How's that? Great. Is that lovely? And again, we've retained our energy. Dogfighting is all about maintaining energy. If we can keep our energy high by staying high, keeping our speed high is a huge advantage. Right, there's another Messerschmitt down there. We're going to dive down on it. We're going to do a barrel roll in the other direction. Okay. There we are. By diving down, we build up our energy. There's loads of energy there, so we're now going to pull up. We're overtaking that Messerschmitt, so we need to make sure we don't end up in front of it. Up goes the nose. Nice and high, still got 200 knots of airspeed on. We're going to roll all the way around. Messerschmitt's underneath us. We've got him in sight, but we've slowed ourselves down. We can now lower the nose and get behind him and shoot him down. Tack, 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 tack. Boom! And that's what air combat is all about. It's all about energy maintenance. If you can start higher than the bad guy, you're going to have an energy advantage. It's very important that you keep that energy advantage all the way through the combat. Right, we're going to level off. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Right, we'll get you to fly the aircraft for 5 minutes just to get your gyros settled down. So, just going to trim the airplane out again, make sure we're in trim. Okay then, Shaun, you're going to put your right hand on the control column again. You have control. You got it. Right, got a lovely little puffy cloud on the right hand side here. I want you to fly me just over the top of that puffy cloud. Just over the top of it, so you just have to raise the nose just a fraction. And when we get over the top of the cloud, I want you to turn to the right and try and get back to it again. We've got loads of speed on now, so what we can do is we can raise the nose above the horizon. And now start a right-hand turn. Keep the nose above the horizon, that's going to gain us some energy. That's it, keep coming round to the right, keep that cloud in sight, that's a Messerschmitt. And when you get on his tail, that's it, go on, keep coming round, that's it, beautiful job. Right, there we go for it. Woo, over the top, nice job. Woohoo! Higher control, okay, well done, that was brilliant. They're very handy with the clouds with the brackets there, wasn't it? Excellent job, my friend, excellent job. How about we do a barrel roll around the cloud? You have a go at that?
Yeah, okay.
Alright. Still okay? Tummy still good?
Yeah, have a go, yeah.
Alright, let's do a barrel roll then. A bit more power. Just Raise the nose again to build up our energy. Down we go. So by blowing the nose really sharp, we get a rapid increase in speed. Okay, here we go. Over the top. And back down the other side. Right. How are you feeling? You fancy doing a loop-a-loop to finish before we go back to the airfield? Yeah. Okay, right. So the loop-a-loop, we need a bit more power and a bit more speed, and this time the G-force stays on for a little bit longer. So again, if you tense your tummy muscles, that will all help. And this time we're going to go straight up over the top, so as we go straight up, look out at the wingtips, and as you go upside down, throw your head back and you'll see the world coming back to meet us. Okay? Yeah. Here we go, right. And we're going to go straight back to the airfield after this. So again, we're going to lower the nose and accelerate. And for the loop we're looking for about 270, 280 knots. Okay, are you ready? Tense those tummy muscles, here we go. Okay, look out the sides as we go through the vertical. Up we go through the cloud, over, upside down, throw your head back, here comes the world. Back down through the cloud. Wow, how cool is that? And to celebrate, we'll finish with a victory roll. Well done, my friend, you've done the whole repertoire. Right. Skywell Slipline X-ray is about 6 miles to the northeast of field. Rejoining.
Slipline X-ray, C1 right-hand circuit, 6 wings, security 1007.
C1 right-hand 1007, we'll call you in about 30 seconds to run for the flight.
Roger.
I think my next passenger has said he doesn't want to do aerobatics, so thank you very much. I've had a lovely morning for that. I don't mind if he doesn't want to do aerobatics. You've got a strong stomach, my friend. Your dad will be proud of you. Okay, so to return to the airfield, I'm going to open up the cooling flaps. Make sure the engine stays nice and cool. And we'll be turning the fuel tank on again in a minute. Check the amount of fuel we've got. 34 gallons in the main tank. All looking clear. There's about 30 seconds to run through. You've got no traffic to run.
Slipline X-ray, roger, no traffic currently overhead. Just want the R4
Thank you. So if you look out to the left then, Shaun, there's the airfield coming up. We're going to fly down the runway at 500 feet. Because the thing of the Spitfire doesn't like doing is slowing down. So if we go down with the throttle back and then we pull the nose up, that will slow the aircraft down and kill the energy. So we don't want energy when we're coming into land. So hopefully the family will be out on the grass, they'll be able to see as we fly down the runway. Change the fuel tank. Walk clear to the right. Okay, so I'm going to start throttling back now. Now we're going to pull the nose up, By pulling the nose up, we slow down. Up we go.
Golf Mike Uniform, downwind to land, 2 and right. Golf Mike Uniform, roger.
Okay, Spitfire no X-ray, we're actually downwind behind you. I'm going to come inside you, we're going to land first. We're a little bit quicker than you are.
Roger, Golf Mike Uniform.
Just coming up on your right side now. X-ray short right base to land. 2 green.
Roger, service 2150
Okay. Okay, so we've got the aircraft back at 100 knots, going to slow down now to 80, 85, going to put a little bit side slip in, slow down. There we go. And now this is where the fun begins, because I've got to slow the aeroplane down and it doesn't like going in a straight line. So the stick comes back, and I'm going to start to use more and more rudder to keep the aeroplane straight. A little bit of gentle braking. Pull the flaps up. Gentle braking. All under control now.
Golf Mike Uniform, time to land, visual with 1 on the runway. Golf Mike Uniform, roger, with the traffic in sight, surface wind 120 degrees left of 5. Golf Mike Uniform.
It's a bit rappy at the end, because the engine is like running a boat now. The X-ray is vacating again. Thank you very much, Mike Uniform.
A pleasure, Golf Mike Uniform.
Right, if you want some fresh air, Shaun, with your left hand, you pull that chain, not the ball, the chain, down and back, bow your head. It's simply heroic as we taxi in. How was that?
Great.
What a lovely morning for it,
Wow.
eh? Yeah, well done. That was the full range of aerobatic manoeuvres, and most people don't get to do that. They tend to give up after the barrel rolls, but well done. Well done. Watch. What a gorgeous day. There
Yeah.
goes a little cloud to play with, that's nice. Did a super job there. You got the old fighter pilot came out there, didn't it? Got some decent G on. Nice steep turn. It's the great thing is having a little bit of cloud is better than having a blue sky, because you've got something to attack.
Yeah.
You've got your pretend Messerschmitt. Family.
Golf Mike Uniform vacated and taxi for fuel. Mike Uniform, roger, nothing to effect.
Right, so let's bring the aircraft to a halt. We're going to do a little bit of last checks. We're going to turn off the flaps. We're going to check the magnetors. That looks good. Temperatures and pressures looking good. Not too hot. So all we need to shut the aircraft down is to turn the fuel off. No fuel. No. noise. Amazing how quickly 25 minutes goes, isn't it?
Wow, yeah. God.
Right, I'm going to turn off. I shall talk to you outside the aeroplane.
Okay.
Welcome back. Hey buddy, what do you reckon?
Brilliant.
Excellent
Fantastic.
stuff. What's it like up there?
Blue.
Let's get your helmet off. So just drop me your glasses again. We'll
Yeah.
start from the back. Super jobby, high hat and them to be. Lovely job. Snap that off. Snap that off, then just put your thumbs in again. And then that's it, buddy.
Yeah.
Go on, tap on there for us, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah.
Undo reverse. Do any aerobatics?
Yeah, we did the full Monty.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's what I